Seeing this can definitely feel like a disaster. It looks very much like you're going to have to frog way back to get to the part where the mistake was made or the stitch was missed to be able to fix it. Or if you try to fix it without frogging back, that it's not really going to be correct. And neither one of those really seems like a great option.
There's got to be a better way. And there is, Kevin.
I want to show you how to fix this in under 10 minutes.
I can do that. I can do that. Take the con. I can. Move. I can do that. I can do that. Move. Give me manual control. I can lock on.
So I wanted to show you how to fix this in less than 10 minutes. So grab a crochet hook, a small one if you can. So mine here is an F. If you have something closer to like B or C, that would work too. You just don't want it to be too big. So I also have just a small needle. You can use a DPN or some. You just want a needle. You're going to be unpicking stitches, and it's a little easier to do it with a needle than with your fingers. So there are 2 steps to doing this, and like I said, 10 minutes, you're going to be done. So first thing you need to do is we need to get this loose stitch back up through these wraps. Okay, so the doing that, I'm going to zoom in and just kind of, I'm going to try really hard to stay in frame here. So you want to bring the tip of your crochet hook through, you want to find these 2 wraps here, and you want to bring it through just the bottom wrap, pointing toward the loop that's loose. And you just want to come through like behind that loop and pull it up through first. And then with it still on the crochet hook, what you want to do is you want to rotate the crochet hook so that it's facing, the hook is facing down. And you basically want to, oops, not lose your loop. So I'll try that again. You want to grab the loop that's around the one that you just pulled up. So you have, I feel like it's hard to demonstrate and hold. Let's see. So you have the loop that's on the hook, and then you have this loop that's around. So when you turn your hook, you're actually going to grab that loop and you're going to pull it back through. Okay, so what that does is that puts the stitch in the right place, and it also puts it under the first wrap. Then you want to kind of let that stitch hang out. So you might want to pull it taut or put a stitch marker, or you could even, like, if you're using a cable needle, you could stick it through just so that it doesn't fall back out. Take the hook off. And then you want to come again from the top through that second wrap, and then you just want to grab that loop. Okay, and then pull it through there. So now you've created the stitch that it was supposed to create, and it's through both of the wraps. And at this point, you could grab, see if I have, you could grab a stitch marker to just hold that loop until we're ready for it in the second part. Okay, so just kind of slide a stitch marker on there, take your crochet hook out. So it's just hanging out here, ready for the second part. So the second part is this stitch, when it's worked, it gets worked and becomes this elongated stitch here. So what we need to do is we need to get over to this stitch and we need to undo it. So just slip your stitches across until you get to, it's going to be the first stitch in this wrapped set. So just slip your stitches across. And I like to push the stitches that I don't need to worry about out of the way, so they're way down on the needle and not going to fall off. So then we're going to take this first stitch off the needle, and as we're undoing it, we're going to have loops of fabric that come to the back of the work. So I like to unpick it with a short needle. And if you come, actually, if you come to the back, I don't know if you can see that, probably not. if you can grab the fabric that creates the stitch from behind, it's easier to pull out. But the second stitch is going to be kind of up in the wrap. So if you want to pull it down out of the wrap, that you want to undo that as well. So you should have, between your needles now, you should have 2 long dark pieces, and those are going to create the stitches when we come back. And then you have your loop here. So at this point, you're going to come through the stitch that's on your stitch marker with the crochet hook. So put that back on your crochet hook and then grab that long loop and pull it through. All right, and so now we're back to the elongated loop, and then we just need to get that back up through this wrap. So first, remember we have these 2 long loops that were the stitches that we created. These are back here. Find the bottom one, grab it with the crochet hook, and bring it through that long loop. And now we have to get this stitch up back through the wrap. So again, I like to just put it on something so that it hangs out. So again, I'm just using my cable needle to hold that stitch, and then bring the crochet hook from the top through both wraps to the bottom. Grab that loop and then pull it through. And then you just want to, now that you have that loop through, you just need to get that last stitch back on there. So come with the loop that you have on the crochet hook, come underneath that, grab it, pull it through, and then that can go just back on your needle. And if I'm going out of frame here, I'm sorry. All right, so that is all. That's all you need to do to get that stitch fixed. And it should, if you got a crochet hook and a stitch marker maybe, and something to help pick the stitches out and kind of hold things in place, it should look like nothing ever happened. So should be a pretty quick fix, and I hope that helps.